Hiya, Chris with another fabulous 40 challenge for Bush Kids. Today we're going to look at how to make a natural shelter. First thing we're going to do is find a suitable site. Now I like this tree because it's got this forked branch, and that's going to be really important when we put our first piece of shelter, which is going to be the ridge line. Now I like to think of the shelter a bit like a skeleton. And the first piece of the skeleton that goes on is the backbone, the spine, we often call the ridge pole or ridge line. With this is the most important piece. Just like our backbone, it needs to be strong. So a good test is once you've rested it up in the fork of the tree, put some weight on it, have a little sit on it, have a swing, and we'll just check that it is going to hold the weight of all the material we're going to put on next. And next, after we have our backbone, we need to put on some ribs. So it's worth testing it just to make sure that it is going to take the weight. So the next thing I like to do before I add the next part on is trace out a line on the floor. Because what I'm going to do next is add on some ribs. And I want them to be nice and straight. And by tracing that line on the floor, it gives me a good guide. So now I can find any size, check the line on the floor and see where it's going to be best suited. Now straight sticks are best. If I can find any that have got a nice fork at the top, that helps just to lock in with the ribs as well. So I'm just going to pop a couple more on and show you how we get on. Now occasionally we'll find some sticks that will want to naturally roll and fall into position. Now because this one's quite bent, it does want to roll with the bowl sort of facing inwards. Best let it lie how it wants to, that way it's less likely to move once you've completed your shelter. You've got a nice selection of ribs on here now. You can see a few. You've taken these forked branches and locked them in. That helps quite a lot and stops the others sort of sliding down. So we've got a good framework on there. Now, we're thinking of our sort of skeleton idea, we need to add the muscles on. Okay, so we've got our muscle layer on now, and by muscles I mean the thinner branches. It's quite important that these branches have their forks sort of like this. So the idea is if we put a next layer on, all those little forks are going to catch the debris that we put on top. So our final layer, our skin layer, we're going to use these much thinner branches and try and hook them on the muscles that we've already put in place, those forked branches. Ideally, we'd want a little bit more greenery on here, more leaves, but by using these thin branches, upside down they'll lock in place, and then any other leaf matter that we've got kicking around we should throw on top. And that should give us a fairly weatherproof layer on the top. I'll put some on and let's see how it looks. Now autumn's a brilliant time to build downs because we have so much of the fallen leaf litter. You can see we've got a really nice layer on the top there. We'll keep on going, we can finish that off. But that gives us a lovely skin to go over the top of our shelter, making it a little bit more weatherproof. Final thing you might want to do before you move in is just keep an eye out for any little branches that might, poke you in the eye as you're crawling around the inside of your shelter. Break them off, get them out the way, just keeping it nice and safe. And there you have it. A little den built from natural materials. Go and have a go, enjoy and be safe. Cheers.